Good morning, everybody. How are you today? So, we began Unit 7 with Lesson 1 about physical properties of matter. After that, we continued with a new lesson about the states of matter or the states of water, we said. So, we have three different states of matter. Any matter has three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. And the solid state, we said before, it has a definite shape and definite volume. And definite means it's hard to change the shape and it's hard to change the volume of solids. Why? Because the particles of solids very close to each other. So no spaces here, and the bonds between these particles very strong. So it's hard to change the shape and the volume of solids. So we call solids have definite shape and definite volume. What about liquids? And we said liquids have definite volume only. It takes the shape of its container. And the particles in liquids slide to each other, so the shape can be changed. Why? Because particles can slide to each other, so that we can change the shape. If you put it in a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. If you put it in a plate, it will take the shape of the plate. Okay? Then gases, we said we have free movement here, no definite shape and no definite volume. The particles far and the bonds what? So weak. So here we have free movement and we have spaces, so we can change the shape and the volume of gases. Till here we stopped last lesson. Okay, today we are gonna continue with a change of state. Means if we have matter or water in general, matter, adding energy, and energy means heat. If we add heat to water or to any matter, not only water, so if we added the heat, giving heat to the matter causes what? Causes change of state. So adding heat or removing heat to the matter, it will change its state from solid to liquid or liquid to solid, from liquid to gas or gas into liquid. So we have three different states of matter. We said solid, then liquid, then gas. So we have three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. If we add heat to the solid, if you have an ice and you put it outside, means heat will move through this ice cube. What will happen? It will change into liquid. If we added the heat to the liquid, it will boil. For example, if we have water, it will boil and it will change to water vapor, gas state. Okay? Now, the opposite of liquid, if you put the water inside a freezer, what will happen? It will be solid again. And the gas, like rain, it will be liquid again. So, what we call the change of state. Each change has name. The change of state from solid into liquid, we call it melting. The opposite of melting from liquid into solid, if you have liquid water and you put this water inside a freezer, what will happen? It becomes solid again. So what we call it? Freezing. So melting, the change of state from solid into liquid, and freezing, the change of state from liquid into solid. Then the change of state from liquid into gas, we call it evaporation. and from gas into liquid we call it condensation. So till now we have four: melting and freezing, evaporation and condensation. Melting is the change of state from solid into liquid. Freezing, the opposite, liquid to solid. Solid to liquid, melting. Liquid to solid, freezing. Liquid into gas, we call it evaporation, and gas into liquid, we call it condensation. Okay? Now, from solid into liquid means melting. We have to add energy or to remove energy, means we have to add heat or to remove heat. So to change solid into liquid we have to add heat. So melting absorbs heat or energy. Okay? But liquid into solid, we don't need to add heat to liquid to become solid. We have to remove heat. So here releases heat or energy. Okay? The same with from liquid into gas, we have to add energy or absorb energy, the same meaning. And here remove or release energy. Okay? So from solid, then liquid, then gas. Okay? Up, I have to add energy, and down we have to remove energy to change the state of this matter. So adding heat or removing heat change the state of matter. Okay, we said that. So from solid into liquid or melting, we have to add energy, and also what, liquid into gas, we call it evaporation, we have to add energy. Up to down, condensation, and melting, we have to remove energy. Okay? Now let's see again. Let's remember again before. So we have three different states of matter or water: solid, liquid, and gas. And at the change of state, because of adding heat or removing heat, the state of matter will be changed from solid into liquid. We call it melting. And here we have to add energy to change the solid into liquid. To change the liquid into solid, we call it freezing, and we have to remove energy. To decrease the temperature, it will be ice again. Okay? Now, liquid water, for example, into gas or water vapor, we have to add energy to change the liquid into gas, and this change we call it evaporation. Then the opposite of evaporation, condensation. Okay? Now, we said the particles of solids very close to each other, very close and rigid, for example, or we call it rigid, or very strong, these bonds, and they move. I said the movement of the particles, they vibrate like this. So the change of state, the particles in solids like this, they move like this. When we add heat, adding heat increases what? Increases the speed of particles, the speed of particles, or we can change this word movement. And the energy of motion, we call it what? Kinetic energy. We said that before. So adding heat or energy increases what? increases the kinetic energy of particles. Okay, so if the kinetic energy increases, so what will happen? If they vibrate like this, they'll vibrate like this. They'll move faster, vibrate faster, so they'll break the bonds between the particles. So the state will be changed into liquid, and in liquid the same. Adding heat, what will happen? It raises or it increases the kinetic energy of particles. Increasing the kinetic energy of particles, okay, causes what? To break the bonds between particles and change the state of matter. Okay, so till now you have to know the following things. What are the states of matter? What are the states of matter? This is the first question. Solid, liquid, and gas. Number 2. Compare between the states of matter. Solid, definite shape and definite volume. Liquid, definite volume, not definite shape. It takes the shape of its container. And gases, no definite shape and no definite volume. It takes all of the space in its container. Number 3. Why we cannot change the volume? Why? The shape and volume of solids definite, liquids not, gases not definite, and liquids only definite volume because of the particles. So if I said draw the particles, you have to draw solids very close to each other, rigid, liquids further than, and the furthest will be they slide to each other, and the furthest with gases. Okay, then the change of state means when we add energy or when we remove energy, the state of matter will be changed. Okay, the change of state from solid into liquid, we call it melting, and melting means we add energy. The opposite of melting is freezing, and freezing means the change of state from liquid into solid. And here we have to remove energy. The change of state from liquid into gas, we call it evaporation, and the opposite of evaporation is condensation. I hope all of them are clear. Have a nice time and see you next video inshallah.